Good evening, people. My name is Immortal Solitude, also known as XX Exiles, with a capital, middle X, and easy at the end. In today's presentation, I will be ranking the characters in Wuthering Waves in comparison to one another. Tier lists like these often end up being very controversial because every single person ends up ranking the characters based on completely different criteria. I think that is a problem, and I think that to remedy this problem, there has to be an objective tier list that everybody can and should agree on. And that is what I will be proposing today. I am very well aware of the fact that there are many theory crafters out there and that people constantly have back and forths with each other in an attempt to understand the placement of a character in comparison to other characters within the game. I think in situations like this, it can often be very helpful to take a step back and try to look at things a little bit more calmly and try to see if we are actually ranking these things properly. And with that, we will begin ranking the Wuthering Waves characters in alphabetical order. I get it. Fuck, this is so stupid. Starting off the tier list with a character that this game has solidified as its number one, regardless of what comes out next or what has come out before. Alto, with the double A, completely has ensured and safeguarded his place as the number one Wuthering Waves character in alphabetical order. This is a very strong opening move by Kuro Games, and I am expecting that throughout my research and throughout the course of this tier list, we will have so many unexpected turns that by the end of this, I feel like we will all be enlightened together. And with that, I do believe that Alto deserves his own tier. I think that a double A is an unprecedented move, an absolute game changer, and something that will set the pace for the rest of the tier list moving forward. Under that, we go on to the next letter of the alphabet, where we have Baiju and we have Brand. These are the characters that come up immediately behind the letter A in the alphabet, as in the B, as there are no other characters with the letter A in their name. So for someone else to catch up to Alto, they have a total of 2 letters to get through in the alphabet. Next up, I want to create a very special tier. I want to create a CA tier, as there are a total of 5 characters in this game whose names start with the CA. We have Calcharo, we have Camellia, we have Cantarella, we have Carlotta, and we have CARTETHYIA. These are the characters that definitively belong in the CA tier, and while we are at it, I do believe that Castoris from Honkai Star Rail has also deserved a place at the CA tier. Next up is the C tier. We have moved on from the CA tier, and we are now finally moving forward to the rest of the alphabet. Next up on the tier list is Chang Li, Chisha, Chacona, and while we're at it, we can also add Danjin to C tier. Continuing the trend of not only there being C tier, but also all of them having red hair. Very interesting combination. By this, we can actually determine that Kuro Games has made a very bold move by placing a third of the game's playable characters in the first 3 letters of the alphabet. Very strong move by Kuro Games. Keep up the good work, guys. I can't wait to see what's next on this tier list. Next up on the tier list, we have Encore. And after that, immediately, we move on to Jianshin, skipping a total of E, F, G, H. We have skipped 4 letters of the alphabet. Jianshin represents a huge leap in terms of alphabetical progression in this game, as immediately after that, we hit a halt, as now there is 2 characters whose names start with the letter J and I. As we immediately have Jinshi, we also have Jian immediately afterward. This is so stupid. What the fuck am I doing? And I think that while we're at it, we can fill this tier with a plethora of fantastic new, unforeseen before characters. As we immediately after this have Ling Yang, skipping the K letter of the alphabet, immediately after there being Lumi, and Lupa. I'm not sure if this is Lupa, but I'm gonna assume that it is. Continuing the tier list, we have Mortivi, Phoebe, Rochia, and we have female rover and then male rover, as male rover goes after female rover in the alphabetical order, which honestly warrants male rover a placement on the bottom tier, as we are now in the last section of this alphabet. Immediately after this, we have Sanhua, Taochi, Shorekeeper. Placed immediately after Shorekeeper is Verena, a lore and gameplay accurate representation of their placement right next to each other, as they are right next to each other, even in the alphabetical order. There is absolutely no way that anyone could have foreseen this coming. Shorekeeper and Verena are destined to be alongside each other, gameplay or otherwise. I think that if anything, this warrants an applause. Absolutely incredible move by Kuro Games. Absolutely incredible. Next up is Shangli Yao. Hold on a second. It seems that I have been mistaken. It seems that Shorekeeper actually comes up after Sanhua. It does appear that Taochi has ruined this game once again. After Shangli Yao, we have Yang Yang, Yinlin, Yohu, and Yuanwu. 4 characters with the letter Y. Why are there 4 characters with the letter Y in their name? And finishing off this tier, I do want to make a specific tier for the Z letter, as I do believe that Zani and Jeji are unfortunately placed at the bottom of the alphabet. They will forever be the last characters to be listed in alphabetical order of this game. We will place Scar on this tier list here, and I do not know the names of these 2 characters, so we will create a new layer, and we will name it Skull Emoji. And for good measure, we will also add Renala of the Full Moon in the Skull Emoji tier. And that will conclude our tier list. We have successfully ranked the Wuthering Waves characters in comparison to one another, and I do believe that this will be the tier list that everyone should be using moving forward. Thank you to Kuro Games for not sponsoring this video. And stay tuned for next video, where we will be ranking the Wuthering Waves characters in reverse alphabetical order. This is so stupid.